What's up guys, and welcome back. So today I am doing something a little bit different. I am talking a little bit about something new that is going on with me. So it's a new year, and when it comes to a new year, people talk about New Year's resolutions. A lot of people talk about going to the gym, losing weight. Well, that's something I have started now because Gemma's been doing Slimming World for quite a while, and it's actually been working for her. And I'm at a point where I thought, you know what, I'm putting on quite a bit of weight, I'll do something about it. So I'm not actually going to Slimming World, but I am following their principles. So I started off with the other day, on Monday, where first day I wasn't really on it. I was just kind of figuring out the rules and what I can and can't do. So for those of you who don't know Slimming World, I'll run through a little bit of some of the stuff that I've noted down for it, just to give you a clue on maybe ways that you could help yourself as well. So you get 2 A choices and 1 B choice. Now there's not many stuff that I really use on either of these, so the stuff that I've just noted down that I use for like my A choices is like milk and cheese. So I'm allowed a little bit of cheese and some milk. Now I've actually wrote down how much I'm actually going to use. Yeah, so I can use 350 millilitres of milk and 40 grams of cheese, or 30 grams of like parmesan. So I'm allowed two lots of that a day. So I mean, it's quite a bit really. But then I get 1 A choice, 1 B choice, sorry, which is either cereals or milk. That's all I really have that's out of them. So I can have like 2 slices of wholemeal. I can have like any sort of like high fibre cereal, or I can have like a wholemeal roll as well. So I mean, that's all stuff that I am allowed. Sorry, just dropping everything that I'm allowed to have. I mean, just stuff like Weetabix, porridge, Crunchy Bran, all that sort of stuff, because it's high fibre. I can have all of that. But then you get, for your average person anyway, 15 sins per day. So this is what it all comes down. So stuff that is sin free that I'm allowed to have, I've made down notes of stuff that I'd actually have. So like potatoes, sweet potatoes, bananas, grapes, kiwis, mango, pineapple and pomegranate. None of those are speed foods. Speed foods are important. That's what speeds up your metabolism. So like your body's not holding on to the fat sort of thing. So that's kind of what's going to get you to lose the weight quicker. But eggs, rice and pasta are all sin free, along with all of meat, fruit, veg and salad as well, which is all sin free. So the fact that pretty much all meat is sin free, that's good. You need to make sure that you're also eating 3 times a day. That is essential to it. So your body's not holding on to the fat again, which is part of the problem I've been having. I've basically been getting up in the morning, pretty much eating nothing, going straight to work, doing like a 10-hour shift and still not eating anything. Maybe having a bit of a snack whilst I'm at work, just something off of the shelf, basically grabbing like a pack of cakes or something, like a croissant off of the bakery, something like that. But then that's all I've been having, and then I've been coming home having my tea, and that's pretty much all I've been eating, and yet I've been putting on weight. So obviously it shows that your body's holding on to the fat, so you're that's why you're not losing any sort of weight. So I get 15 sins a day. What can I have with this? Well, if I get 1 Walker's bag of crisps, that's about 8 sins. But if I go with like something like Space Raiders, that's only 3 sins actually, which is actually quite impressive. Now if I'm making a sandwich, obviously I've got my bread that I can have as my B choice that I can have. So I've got like cheese and onion fillers, which is like 3 sins. That's pretty much the worst one you can have. Now you can have like chicken and bacon, corned beef, coronation chicken. All of those, they're all about 2 sins roughly. You can also get less fat versions. They're about 1.5 sins like per sandwich. This is, and then you get Gemma's got some Slimming World like chocolate bars as well. So as a bit of a treat, you can have them. They're 3 sins per one, or you can have it as your B choice as well. So that's always handy if you don't have any bread or any cereal. You can always have one of those. Obviously, to go with your bread as well, it's 3 sins roughly for your butter, for that per sandwich roughly. It'd be about 3 sins. So that's not too bad. And then if I wanted to use white bread as well, it'd be like 5 sins per slice of bread. So you're better off sticking with like your brown or your wholemeal, really. That's going to be a lot better for you. But this is the bit that upsets me a little bit. If I want like just a small bottle of Budweiser when I get home, it's still a full 6 sins. Even like a light beer, like Coors Light, is still 4 sins. And God forbid I wanted a glass of wine, because that would be 12 whole sins. So I guess I'm not having wine anymore. But yeah, so we've established all the stuff that I can and can't have. There I've established all the rules, and I started it on my second day. So I went out to the shop, I've been and bought myself some Weetabix, and it's actually high protein Weetabix as well, so it should be a hell of a lot better for me. So I've been out, bought that, got myself, so I've had some cereal, had that with the milk as well in the morning, and then went off to work. For my dinner I had a bit of the coronation chicken, which is about 2 sins, along with my sarnie, and then I had a bit of celery and some tomatoes with it. But then I was finding that because I was eating more, funnily enough, I was always hungry. So by the end of my shift, I'd bought like a pack of 5 apples. I'd already ate like 3 of them. And then when I came home, I also had like stewing steak as well, with like the onions and a bit of veg to go with it, and a bit of mash. Obviously the potato isn't speed food, but like all the veg that went with it was. But yeah, I found that I was really struggling that first day, because I'm working like a 10-hour shift, and everything that I was doing, I was just so hungry. So I need to find a way that I can find something I can snack on at work, whilst I'm just walking around doing everything that I'm doing. I want something that I can eat whilst on the move. So it's going to be hard to find something like that, given what work I'm doing, because I don't ever stop. So I want something I can leave in the warehouse as well, out the way. So just when I'm walking back and forth, I don't have to go all the way to the canteen to get it as well. So I'm still working on what I can do for that. Luckily, I'm only on like a short shift today. So today is technically my 3rd day, but it's a Wednesday. So Wednesdays we have as days off, because Wednesdays are when you've got your meeting. So obviously I don't go to the meetings, but Gemma does. So we tend to have like pizza Wednesdays. So today is going to be a day off. I've still had like my cereal and all that I've had for my first meal. I've just had some vouchers posted through the door from McDonald's, so I've literally just gone and spent like £2 at Mackey's to go get a... I actually got the salad from McDonald's to try and be nicer there. It was basically just rabbit food, which was fun. But I've tried to be good there, so when we're having pizza for tea tonight, hopefully that, you know, it shouldn't be too bad. But then from there on out, I'll be doing it for the next week or so, non-stop, fully. So I need to find a way for tomorrow, Thursday, for me to find a way that I can just eat something whilst I'm at work, because I've got no idea what I'm going to have. But anyway, I will check in with you tomorrow and see how it goes. Right, so I know I said I'd check in the day after, but it has been a week now, and I'm starting to get used to it. It's just like changing certain things about the way that you're eating. I am still finding that I'm hungry all the time. I think that's because my body's just been holding on to everything and it's used to not eating, and now because I am eating, whenever I stop eating, it's like, yeah, you should probably keep eating. So it's still tough trying to get used to that. But after my first week, it looked like I'd lost, according to our scales are a bit out, but it looked like I'd lost about half a stone. So I've been to Slimming World now for my first week, and my initial weight is 17 stone 9. So I'm going to be fully on it this week, hitting it as hard as I can to try and find out just exactly how much I'm losing. It'll be interesting to see. Now I'm actually going to the meetings just to see how much I am losing. So I'll have to see next week. But yeah, it's interesting. Like I am still having cereal and that for me breakfast, which is usually like an A and a B option with the milk. But then I've not been using much else anyway. So sometimes I've been having to sin a little bit of bread, so if I'm having like soup I can have a crusty roll with it, something like that. But I mean, that's about it. I mean, noodles, I've been having quite a bit of noodles for my dinner. A lot of soup. Soup's been good for my dinner because if you get the chunky soup as well, it's really filling, plus it's got all your things in it as well, your speed foods, so that sounds good. But then, like for tea, we've been having massive meals like stroganoff, stuff like that are sin free as well, or just a couple of sins, should I say. Stroganoff isn't sin free, it's got like 4 sins in it, something like that. Either way, it's really low on sins. I've been averaging about 6 sins a day, which you're allowed 15, so I think I've been doing really quite well with it. So at breakfast as well, breakfast is a meal that I've completely used to cut out. So now I've been having, like Gemma's been making some really good meals. Like we had a bacon, egg and beans like bake the other day, which was pretty good. So it's amazing just how many decent foods you can actually get just for breakfast. And dinner time as well, sometimes we've been having, if we make a big thing like the stroganoff, or even like chili as well, stuff like that we've been having on a night. If there's any leftovers, I can then throw it in a bowl and have it the next morning for work, which is working really well. It's sorting meals out a lot easier. So yeah, I'll check in a couple of days and see how it's going. So I know I said I'd check in after a couple of days, but it's been a week or so now, because I've just been that busy, I've not had time. But I went to my first weigh-in, lost about £1.5. Wasn't particularly happy with it after that first week where I wasn't even on it. I'd done like 5 or 6 pounds. But then I've been to my second weigh-in and I've actually lost £5 on my second weigh-in. So I've actually lost 6.5 pounds since I'm doing it. So I'm like half a pound away from my half stone award, which is irritating just due to the fact that I'd done it for a week. I'd already lost about 5 or 6 in that first week, so I should be close to a stone, and it's just, that's irritating. But I'm still plodding on through it, coming up with some new different meals, different ways to do things as well, which I'm finding fun, like the omelettes, like a bit of bacon, stuff like that. Just trying to get as much like meat and protein and stuff like that into meals as well, as working out pretty well for me. Trying to change up the way that I'm doing my dinners. That's the hard part at the moment, getting my dinners sorted, because I can have a massive dinner, which is mostly sin-free, but then it's hard to get something to snack on throughout the day. So I've kind of been using the Slimming World bars, or something like that, or just like a bit of like celery and tomatoes and stuff like that. So it's not been too bad. But we'll have to see how I do next week. But there is one thing that I've been having an issue with me working within a shop. I'm working on like a fresh bakery. When every time you walk in past it, you see 50,000 donuts out there. It's so hard not to just grab yourself a donut. But I've done well so far. I've not managed to have one just yet. I do like Wednesdays. Wednesdays is good. because Wednesdays is when we've got the weigh-ins, so that's when I can just completely throw the diet out the window. So I've been kind of everything that I've been wanting to have, that's what I've been binging on these things. So I think that's another way to get you through and get you by with it. But yeah, we'll check and see how it goes on my final weigh-in of the month. So see you guys in a sec. Right, so I've just been back for my 4th weigh-in at Slimming World, so that's a full month that I've done officially on Slimming World now. And I have lost another £2, so I've made my half a stone award. I've done £8.5 in 3 weeks. So I mean, that's pretty impressive really. So I've done close to a stone within a month. Because I lost about 4 or 5 on that first week where I wasn't doing it as well. I wasn't officially on it, so yeah, it's been working out pretty well. I just need to get past a few little things like the snacking and all that. I need to figure out what I'm going to do, but I have figured out that as a bloke I actually get 25 sins, not just 15, so there's more stuff that I can actually have. So I might actually have to just start eating more stuff that I wouldn't call as junk food, but more like packs of crisps, stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely turning out good, and I will update you in the future to let you know how it's going. But if you're wondering if Slimming World does in fact work, here you go. Here's proof that if you're doing it properly and you're doing it right, yes, it does work. But of course, until next time guys, I will see you all later. So bye for now guys, bye.